Oh my god, it caught on fire.
Saw the money ain't got activated. Saw the money ain't got activated. Saw that money ain't got activated. I saw that money ain't got activated. Canada Goose. Keep me wearing my cold city. I got a pole with me. Black Horse 450.
What is up, guys? It's obviously been a minute since I've made a video. Well, I made a video recently, but it's been a minute since I've actually got on here and filmed with the right camera and stuff. And I know I owe a lot to you guys as far as catching up, but as I mentioned in the last video, we did pick up a Miata as a project. Not really going to go over it again. If you want to know more about it, go back to the next video and watch it. But we did do a little bit of diagnosing off of camera. I think I may have mentioned that the starter was clicking before. We tried to get the starter to at least crank before dumping money into the car because I want to hear it run or at least crank first. Not an option. Starter was just completely done. Went and got a new starter today, and then while we were at it, we also bought a new clutch master cylinder because we pulled the old one out, and even with the line disconnected, when you would pump the clutch, nothing would come out of here. Pretty much that's a dead giveaway that the master had to have been bad. Clutch slave could be bad as well. I'll probably replace it in the future just to be preventative regardless, but gonna slap this bad boy in there and hopefully, fingers crossed, hear this thing run for the first time. So gonna dive right into that, and then I guess I'll catch up with you guys maybe when we get it in. Just finished getting the fresh starter in. I don't know if you can see it there, but you can definitely see it here. Everything is hooked up, and we're gonna put power to the car now, and I guess crank it for the first time. Sounds like Trey just got here, which you guys have not seen his car because that's how long it's been since I made a YouTube video. Actually, we might have showed it on there. I'm not 100% sure, but we're gonna hook this thing up to power and get this thing popping. I'm gonna open the door because it's pouring down rain. It is nasty out there. Thought it'd be nice and open it. It's not gonna start, no way. Did you already change the slave on it? The back wheels are spinning. Why is it crank so slow? Because I gotta jump back up to it. Oh, because the battery. I forgot the battery, by the way. Yeah. Forgot the battery. I was gonna text you and remind you, but I didn't know you were coming. Oh. It doesn't sound like it's trying to start, but. Oh. What? Set the key down. You lost the key. Set it down. Oh! Oh my god, it caught on fire. What caught on fire? The brake cleaner. There's gas that was leaking. What do you mean? I remember seeing. Oh shit. I should have knew it was gonna fucking blow up after that first little noise that it made. It made like a really weird noise, like boop. I didn't hear a fuel pump like running. Or you don't. Really. You don't on Miatas. Maybe we should lower the or lift the back up, because it's probably like the fuel and shit. Wonder if the fuel pump's even good in that car. I'm doubtful. It's been sitting for so long. There's probably so much shit in it. Okay, so we've determined that there's no fuel, so we gotta get to the fuel pump. Trey happens to have a fuel pump, and we got the carpet out back here, and this shit is disgusting. Like, this could be homeless pee, could be rat pee. Like, that's gotta be cancer. Like, if I breathe it in, 10 out of 10 cancer. But yeah, we're gonna get this shit pulled out and then get this fuel pump out and then hopefully get some fuel flowing in this hook. It's really stuck to the top of this. Of course, the part we gotta get to. Cash like, what's going on in here, bro?
Yeah.
That I know of. What do we got in there, Zach? That, my friends, is a rat's nest. At least it could be a fucking lizard's nest for all we know, but it's something. It's a nest and it smells terrible. Like, the best way I can explain the way it smells is if AIDS was invented and like they put it in one area, that's how it would smell. It smells like straight AIDS.
I can't smell it.
But every single bolt came loose except for this one, and I'm pretty sure we can get some vice grips on it and it should be good. Because they're not very tight. The real question is there metal lines attached to these? Or is it just all rubber that you know?
I think underneath it might be, I don't know.
So we have to be careful moving those because, you know, rust and stuff.
Actually, no, it is rubber all the way because it's rubber in the engine bay.
Well, it doesn't mean it's not hard lined under the car.
Yeah.
It's not? No. That's good then. Well, it should just be no fuel in it. It says that it has 3/4 of a tank, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything.
So I got this.
I can't see.
Oh, god damn it. Look at the fresh paint and the beads on this
You know
bitch.
what's funny? They've never seen this.
So I got this piece of shit that I've been building since April, and I got another car that I bought for 300 bucks in Kentucky. Old boy needs one of these fuel numbers, you know, fuel regulators. I so happen to have a whole extra Miata just sitting in the backyard, rotting away.
Yours isn't clogged, though, so.
Yeah, so we're gonna go see if it works.
Tools. Or we can get to your tools if you want.
I don't even think it's on my car.
Oh, that would be sick.
Because I took it off to swap it onto this car, and I don't think I ever put it back on. So
actually, your car was on the channel when we first got it, when we first snuck it in the shop.
Yeah, and you said it was yours.
Yeah, so when it's daylight, we'll actually like look at this, but right now all you see is the outline of a Miata. So a little bit of skipping time, but long story short, we're not getting any fuel past the regulator, and it seemed like it was out of time, so we pulled these off and it was 180 out. We put it 180 back in. Still can't get the car to start. Has a super slow crank, pulled the plugs out, cranks super fast. That's really as far as we've gotten so far. So we're gonna leave it overnight and kind of think on it. And maybe I'll upload this before we figure it out. If so, if you have any ideas, comment and let me know. But that's it for tonight. All right, we're back up here at the shop after taking a night and kind of thinking about things, actually 2 nights. And I'm pretty sure that the issue the whole time was a really dumb issue. I ended up finding, we couldn't find any information on how the regulators work on these. Most cars, the fuel hits the regulator first, knocks down the fuel pressure, and then it goes through the rail and it returns, right? Well, apparently, I haven't confirmed this yet, but based off of a couple people on a forum, these cars send as much pressure as they can to the rail, and it drops pressure at the rear of the rail. So if that's the case, that means these fuel lines are hooked up backwards right now. So I guess I'm gonna flip them around and see if that's the case. That's the only thing that makes sense at this point, because we're getting no fuel out of this regulator whatsoever when we hook you know, the fuel up to it, because it's getting fuel at the line to the regulator but not through the regulator. So I'm gonna try and flip these lines around real quick. Apparently it's a pretty easy thing to mess up because the head was off this car, so these lines that go under the manifold were definitely off at some point. So I'm gonna try and flip these around real quick, see if that does anything. I still want to double check that the timing's proper and all that stuff, because we did mess with it and I really just don't trust the work. Based on the stuff that I've found so far, the guy that was working on this thing before may not have been a complete idiot, but he was not very smart. And just the stuff I'm seeing on the car, I would rather just kind of triple check so I have peace of mind that it's done right. So we're gonna flip these rails around, or these lines around, see if we can get this thing to start. I'm not actually up here to work on this. I'm up here to finish this thing so we can get it out of our way and collect the pay from that thing. But I do want to just quickly try that real quick so I can sleep a little better at night, and that way I know if this thing runs or not. So There's a high chance that some fireballs shoot out right now, but we're gonna give it a shot. I think we're gonna take a break on this until we have 2 people up here, because I want to check the timing and stuff. I don't want to keep trying to start it. I think it's 180 degrees out possibly, but something doesn't seem right. So I'm gonna wait until someone's up here so I can stick a timing light on it while someone cranks it, make sure it's all in time, make sure everything's good to go before we really try to start this thing. I'm just glad that so far I think the 2 issues that we were having are fixed. So basically now it's just making it run the way it's supposed to. So I think now we're gonna jump onto this thing and get this thing knocked out so we can get it out of the shop and have plenty of space, and then we can finally focus completely on this. I've been putting this off because I've been kind of waiting on some stuff, but we're gonna try and cross my fingers, hopefully knock it out tonight. I know it needs the brakes bled, so probably won't be able to do that by myself, but I'm gonna give it a try. Okay, so we weren't really able to get much farther with this, so we bounced back to the Miata. We've actually been working on it for a minute. We got everything pulled off. The lower crank pulley and stuff is off. Got everything stripped down, and we have it back in time. As far as I know, it's at the TDC mark here. We have the E and the I both facing up. Both the intake and exhaust cams are facing the fenders. The lobes are. And the marks are lined up with these castings here, and there's 19 teeth exactly between each tick mark at the top of the cams. So as long as everything is right the way it's supposed to be, it's in time as we speak. I think the test is to rotate it around 1 revolution, and if it's still in the same mark, then we know that it's in time. If it goes off a mark, it's out of time. So fingers crossed that this is what does it, but we're gonna rotate the engine over now and see what it lands at. Okay, I lied, it was actually 2 revolutions, but we rotated 2 revolutions. The marks are in the exact same spot, so I think I'm gonna double check the tensioner and we're gonna try and start it. We're gonna try and start it. Yeah, like I said, big fat try. Try and spray a little brake clean in here. See what that does for us. She's trying to start. Oh, it didn't sound the greatest when it did try to run for that split second, but it sounds like we might just have an you know, shitty fuel issue. But I'm gonna look a little more into this. I might throw the valve cover on it real quick, and we'll try a little harder. Okay guys, so unfortunately we're not gonna be able to hear the Miata like run. If I spray brake clean in it, it starts up and it'll run for as long as the brake clean allows it to, and then it dies out. I appear to be getting fuel up to the rail. I'm wondering if the injectors are not pulsing or spraying, because that's what it seems like. But at the same time, this rear cylinder was really hot. This one was cold. This one was like warm, and this one was warm. So I'm not sure if that was just from when it started with brake clean. I'm not sure, because it did run. I did run it like a couple times with brake clean. Yeah, so got to figure that out. And then there's also a mysterious wire back here that had a connector on it. And then there's this wire here. Don't know where they go. Gonna try and figure that out. Not sure if that has anything to do with it. I tried plugging them into each other and seeing if that changes. Nothing changes. So basically, not sure if the injectors are spraying at this point. I pulled a plug and the plug was like wet, but it didn't seem like it was wet with fuel. At least it doesn't smell like it. It mostly kind of felt like oil, which is weird. Hopefully this thing doesn't have like bad ring lands or something. That would really suck. But yeah, so I'm not 100% sure at this very moment. I did pull a plug and confirm that we did time it on TDC, because even though the mark down here, there could have been something weird, but I did watch the piston come all the way up, and the marks match up exactly. So it is in time. It does have this rotational thing back here that like kind of like finalizes timing. And I, you know, slowly moved it in increments to see if that changed anything. Didn't really change anything, except for like when it was completely to the left, it would like backfire really bad, which obviously I'm messing with the timing, so that's expected. But yeah, so at this point, I think I'm gonna try and test the injectors and stuff, but that will be in a different video. At least we made it this far in this video, and you know, or in this amount of progress. But yeah, so stay tuned for the next video, guys. Trying to get the Flip Miata up and running, and hopefully once we do get it running, there's no more issues as far as the engine goes. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Deuces.
Oh my god, it caught on fire.